Welcome to the Barker Podcast Collection.
I suck, you suck, I suck at Call of Duty.
Welcome to the Not Playing Podcast. My name's Rob Howard, and this week I'm joined by
Ian Bruce,
Patrick Kane,
and Adam Scott. Hello.
You can contact us on email at notplayingpodcast@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter at notplayingpod. There was a fair amount of VR at E3, it was good to see, but there was also a lot of Meat Space games, a hell of a lot. So, I don't know if anyone wants to say about anything that jumped out at them there, or...
I'd like to say about No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Not in a... So, there was teasers and gameplay from that a while ago, and we all went, oh, wow! But now they've started releasing stuff with the UI on, and it will need a UI because it's going to be a motherfucker of a game. But seeing the planets with a ton of dots on for places you've been and places you can go is starting to make me remember or realise that this is going to be an Elite clone. And however gorgeous stuff looks, at some point you're going to need to peruse a series of dots on a planet and pick which one you want. And the initial teasers, as Elite did as well, I think, didn't really remind you that you're going to have a lot of clicking and navigation and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it still looks great and the planet stuff looks awesome, but it was perhaps a bit of foolish marketing, but I was kind of reminded that you're going to have to click a load of dots and figure out which one you want and see who's been there before and stuff, and there'll be a lot of micromanaging to get to the pretty planet to look at the pretty creatures that nobody's ever seen before. So
I did, however, find it very impressive when he was on stage going, I've not even been to this place before. This is Planet E3, he said. And it welcomed us all to try and go and find that, when the game comes out. They also announced at the PC Gamer Show, or Gaming Show, whatever it was called, that the game will be coming to PC on the same day that it's out on PS4, or as close as possible that they can do.
I will pop next door and thank them personally.
Yeah. So,
do you think this one's going to get Morpheus support? I really don't think it is.
I don't know. The UI, the UI stuff. The UI in VR in Elite is a pretty challenging experience, especially the Galaxy map and some of the menus. They just really don't work very well at all. Very recently, they've curved the pause menu so it curves around, so you don't have to lean over to the left to see which one you're selecting, and that's great.
What's that in Elite?
Yeah, in VR. But once you choose the options one, it's all flat again, so you have to move your head over here and lean right in to see stuff. So I guess they're working on it, but they have other more important things for more users to deal with. So,
I just think, on like a technical level, do you think they'd be able to do all this on a PS4 and stereo rendering? And
yeah, I do. I don't think it would look the same on the PS4 as the PC, perhaps, but I don't think they want to do that. I don't think they'll do that immediately. I think they'll throw the game out, get millions from it, then start throwing it in later, if at all, or make the sequel have it, or something.
Or put it on the PS5.
Yeah, which I'm
VR.
sure is coming in the next 7 years.
5.
Okay.
While we're talking about Sony, the Last Guardian. Who would have thought?
That looks beautiful. Of all the games at E3, that was the one where I thought, wow, what is this on? I have to buy that to play this game. It just looked
the one that I've been
beautiful.
excited about for like a billion years. It's still the best one.
Awesome.
This game was first shown at E3 in 2008. Apparently, I was listening to Polygon podcast Minimap, and they basically read their website to you, which is very handy. But they were basically explaining that they interviewed the creators.
Oh.
Not all the time, no. Sorry, moving on. That was bad.
No, they basically explained what happened was they showed that demo years ago at E3, and then they were like really struggling to get it to work on a PS3. and then eventually it took them so long that the PS4 then came out. So then they had to massively rewrite the whole game again for the PS4 because it's on completely different architecture.
Yeah.
So that's why it's taken so long.
Worth the wait.
Shame the PS4 doesn't have backwards compatibility then.
Oh yeah,
Well,
that's a
yeah.
problem.
which Xbox actually announced, which was a surprise, to be fair. No one saw that coming.
No.
Right, am I gonna get fingers pointed at me and laughed at if I say I have absolutely no idea what The Last Guardian is about?
I had no idea until last week, mate. It's fine.
Really?
No, I knew it.
Really?
I knew it was a game that.
Dude, I've been drooling over this
Yeah,
for
I know.
years.
I knew it was a game that the consolists
It's been like
were very
Half-Life
excited
3.
It's one of
about.
those potato
But I
masher
just-
things, isn't it? Why would I pay
you
any
have-
attention to it?
You haven't played Shadow of the Colossus
Nope,
yet,
no.
have
I've got it on my PS3.
Oh, dude, guys, you've got to play Shadow of the Colossus.
If anyone wants to give me a PS3 so I can play Shadow of the Colossus and Last of Us, I'll be forever indebted.
Somebody at work is selling one.
Really?
I can lend you mine if you want.
That sounds like a better option.
You can come down to Chelmsford.
Yeah.
I'll lend it to you.
All right, next time I'm down.
I've got Journey on there as well. You play Journey?
Nope.
Ah, there you go then.
Yeah, you can't. I mean,
those are that's like not playing Pac-Man. they're milestones. You've got to play those games.
All right.
yeah, it's
Seriously.
Fumito Ueda. He's the creator of Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. Both games have very painterly art styles, really stripped back gameplay, and sort of really they're like emo games, you know.
They're massively experiential.
Yeah.
Shadow of the Colossus, it just felt, playing it recently, it feels like about 10 years ahead of its time. It was amazing.
Have you watched?
And
have you watched the trailer, Adam?
I'm watching it now.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think the idea of this is that you're a boy and you've got this relationship with this
It's like a
crazy
giant Jack Terrier.
mouse thing.
It's a big Jack Russell.
it's like a
isn't it?
griffin type thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It looks like it's made out of loads of different animals.
I'll tell you what, the only thing that I was a little bit dubious about was the noise he makes when he's calling the creature. I was like, God, that's going to drive me insane after a few hours. So hopefully
It may
we can
not
turn
when you
that.
see
You
that
don't-
creature doing
It depends
stuff.
how much you do it, though, I guess, doesn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
you didn't do it that much in Shadow of the Colossus. There was a bit of Hira occasionally,
Yeah.
but there wasn't that much of it. So
No,
if it's
I
the same
suppose.
level, it probably won't be too jarring.
Yeah, but no, I mean, this game has been like Half-Life 3 for years. Like every E3 prediction show I would listen to before the event would always be like, "Will we hear about The Last Guardian?" And we never did until now.
Now we have.
When Sony decided that they would just give everyone their cake and eat it, because they did a couple of other things. First thing was they announced a remake of Final Fantasy VII, which has been like one of the most requested games of all
Oh
time.
yeah, I saw that.
So that's happening, although God knows when it will come out. And they've also started a Kickstarter for Shenmue 3, which is another game that's been like on the top sort of, most in demand. I never played them.
Did anyone think it's weird they did a Kickstarter for that?
Well, I think they were just trying to sort of gauge
Not-
interest, really. But they made
Not
$2
invest
million.
money in it,
Yeah,
more
pretty
accurately.
much it.
Yeah.
You know that game that you guys really want? Do you want to just pay for all of it so we don't have to?
Well, no, because apparently the first game, adjusted for inflation, had a budget of like over $50 million. So I think what they're doing is this: they've made the $2 million that they asked for already over the week of E3, and so it's already like the most quickest funded game of all time. And I think Sony are willing to put now that the public has spoken. I think they're going to put in a bit of investment themselves to get it done, because I think they want to make it like a big open world game. Because I think they've all have been. I know very little about Shenmue.
None
I
of
know
us have
lots of
played this,
people
have
like
we?
it, but it was like one of the sort of first games that wasn't like about sort of a space marine and a or a hack and slash. It was kind of had mature themes, and yeah, that's about all I know about it.
More than me, mate. That's fine.
Yeah, the only other thing Sony had that I thought was awesome was Horizon Zero Dawn. This is by Guerrilla Games, who made Killzone, and I think Sony have finally given up.
Which one's that?
This is the one where it's like a post-apocalypse. So all the all the trees are growing back everywhere, a bit like I Am Legend, and you're playing a female protagonist, and you have a big bow,
arrows into
and
robot
dinosaurs. But it looks absolutely stunning.
It looks gorgeous, doesn't it?
Yeah. And that was like a real surprise, which, we haven't had many of them at E3 for a few years. You kind of already know what you're going to get a lot of the time, and I was really surprised by this one.
The consoles are starting to get some nice new games out, actually, aren't they? Because I noticed that most of the stuff, maybe it's just because with my gaming time, I have to be a bit selective, but most of the stuff I was interested in either seems to be remakes or sequels. But the new stuff that I'm interested in appears to be on the potato machines that I don't have.
Yeah, well, this E3 sold me a PS4 because the final icing on the cake was, yes, okay, fine, it's got a number on the end of it, but Uncharted 4.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch that because I'll get one tomorrow if I do. I can't watch it.
Yeah. Well, like the demo level, the map. I mean, they must be streaming it all or something, but
it's running
it
on
was
a PC.
like you were riding. Yeah, no, it must have been the size of like San Andreas, like the size of like the area that you were playing in. It was just mind blowing. Like it's not even an open world game unless they have gone that way.
Yeah.
But it just seemed crazy.
Well, hold on. Everybody said it was
massive.
It looked like the most beautiful game ever. Doesn't look any better than GTA 5, to be honest.
What?
Uncharted,
which one?
Uncharted. I'm watching it now. God damn it. It looks about the same as GTA 5, really.
I suppose, but when you consider they did tart GTA 5 up a bit for us.
Yeah, it looks alright. It looks great. Yeah, but it's going to be so much fun, that game. I mean, if you played the others, then you know what you're going to get. So yeah, between that, Horizon, Last Guardian, and everything else that they've announced, I'm just simply going to have to get a PS4. So anything else? I mean, there's there was the whole PC gaming show. There was
quite a lot, really. I mean,
Battlefront.
Well, I was going to say my. What do we think of the Battlefront stuff? I mean, my boy saw Battlefront and that was it. He was just like, I can't wait till that comes out. I can't wait. And I was patiently trying to explain that maybe it's not going to look exactly like that when it finally arrives. I mean, look, it looks.
It's probably going to look like that.
Yeah, I think it will look like that.
Yeah, but that was a well choreographed battle. I think is the polite term.
Cynic.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Well, it's the same reason.
That lush photogrammetry
it's the
is
same
all going to be
reason
in there,
I
though.
didn't look at any of the Ubisoft trailers at all. I'm not even remotely interested in any of that until it hits launch. So I have no idea what Ubisoft showed, including the Division. I'm not even going to bother with them.
It was the same as last year, the Division.
You mean Clancy Soft, as they might as well be called now? 3 Tom Clancy games they showed, and they've turned Ghost Recon into Far Cry. Basically, it's like third-person open world.
Wow.
Now, because everything has to be fucking open.
I do love the days when we all are running games companies going, well, yeah, we had to. We're running a business. We have to do what people are paying for. So it's a fair point, though.
Yeah, but I'm a consumer and I'm tired of all that same old stuff, to be honest.
If you're a consumer, you'd be shouting about that. All caps.
I can't shout. My son's on the next.
I remember
room.
back when they first announced Watch Dogs, and I remember Rob saying, I wouldn't even mind if Ubisoft were the only people making games.
I absolutely remember saying that, and I don't take it back for a second, because at that time they were like golden. They couldn't do anything wrong. They were doing. They were putting out like Black Flag, amazing. I really enjoyed Watch Dogs, actually. They were doing all their cool little indie games, and I was like, wow, they seem to have every base covered here. And then, everything went a bit shitty.
Their true colours. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it's really sad. It's funny, isn't it, how the companies sort of cycle round. I mean, at the moment, I would say the golden children or whatever are Bethesda. Like, what they're doing is just drop the mic, like, Fallout 4 in 5 months. Have it. Like, that is just awesome.
Yeah.
Is it, really?
But,
I mean...
But it's just another... It's a prettier Fallout, isn't it? I understand where everybody's excited, and I'll probably get it eventually, and I'm not hating the Fallouts, but it is just another prettier Fallout. It's like being excited about the Mass Effect stuff. That looks great, and I'm sure it'll be a beautiful thing, great thing for fans. But it's just another sequel. And that's enough. That's not a bad thing at all. But is there anything else that they could do?
I even think that about Battlefront, and Battlefront's one of my favourite games of all time. But part of me is just going, but fucking hell, have you not got any other ideas? Like there's all these games that were announced were cool, but like even the coolest ones, it's just like, that's a game I've played before.
So on the subject,
prettier
on the
graphics,
subject of games you played before, what do you think of the Doom footage?
It looked like the original Doom. I'm not going to play it.
Yeah,
it did look like the original Doom at all.
No,
I thought
in your mind.
No, the gameplay was the gameplay looked as stupid as that. It looked, wow, there's shit blowing up everywhere. That's fucking hilarious.
It was
I'm not going to play it because I've done all that. I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's cool that it looks like they've kind of made this kind of high def next gen caricature of the original with like the kind of silliness of cutting things in half,
how you remember
chainsaws and stuff. But it's like I don't have enough time where I don't have things to do that I need to replay things like that.
And also the AI,
do you know what I mean? It's cool,
shit.
but like, just do something new. Just do something fucking new. There's so many cool.
So, for regular listeners who may not have known, and stop me if I'm going too far, Adam. But Adam, as he said in last week's or the weeks before episode, has been on a bit of a gaming fugue at the moment, and kind of bored of it all. And he just, what we're going to do, what we're going to play, what I've got a finite amount of time, what we're going to do, and I find it lovely that you've gone to games that aren't generic game 7, generic game 8, and you've gone back to an indie game. You've been playing Vampire Bloodlines, which maybe isn't an indie game, but it's a massively involved RPG.
Yeah.
Homeworld, which
lovely RPG,
is an ancient game, but a beautiful one. And, Deus Ex. Okay, fair enough. But 3 out of 4...
Yeah.
Best game ever.
Well, that's it. I mean, I think this is the point. All the new shiny stuff hasn't really been pushing my buttons because so much of it is so similar to one another. And maybe it's my gaming taste. I've got a lot of... See, this is the thing. I realised I was looking at my Steam library and I've got Deus Ex Human Revolution, which I loved, and I've got Dishonored right underneath it. And I realised that they are like the steampunk, cyberpunk mirrors of each other in terms of gameplay. They've got very kind of similar abilities in a different world. I love both games very much, but I realised, because I was thinking, should I play this, should I play the other? And I realised, I've actually started playing Human Revolution again just because I saw the trailer of the next one here, and it reminded me how much I enjoyed playing that game. And I'm playing again, and it's kind of fun. But, it's but Homeworld, I actually buckled and bought the remaster for it in the Steam sale. And, yeah, I know, after all,
it was nearly a year, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a good deal. Come on.
Yeah, it was a good deal. So yeah, I bought that and I played that again, and I played the shit out of Homeworld before, but this has got a slightly new spin on it because it's had obviously a new lick of paint. I'm doing the old game, and honestly, I'm playing that, and then Agnes Day starts playing as the mothership leaves a scaffold, and all of a sudden I'm in bits again. And I absolutely loved it. And as for Vampire Bloodlines, I remember that came out originally the same year Oblivion came out, the Elder Scrolls game Oblivion.
Sounds right. Yeah.
It's an ancient game.
It was just after. It was the first Source game.
Oh, that's the sequel.
2003.
Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines.
I think it was 2004 before Half-Life 2, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the first game released for the Source engine before Half-Life 2, and it was either on or just maybe actually Oblivion came out the next year. But I remember having a discussion with someone, it might have been you, Bobby, where someone was saying, "Oh, but Oblivion's great because you can become a vampire and do stuff," and I was like, "I've just been playing Vampire Masquerade, which is the greatest vampire game I've ever played."
It was awesome.
And it is. You've never played a game where you're in part of Vampire Society like that. And I remembered how much I enjoyed it as such an underrated RPG. It was absolutely riddled with bugs at the time, but it's now they've patched it. The community's been patching it for ages. Still, I mean, looking at it now, it still looks a bit ropey, and all the prostitutes
it's 11 years
copies
old.
of his show. It's 11 years old.
Yeah.
A lot of the NPCs are just other copies. They're exactly the same, but the feeling of being a vampire is great. And I'm looking for stuff that makes me feel that way in a lot of the E3 content, and there isn't an awful lot of it. There was a game called Vampire, I think, which looked interesting, but I didn't see any gameplay. There was like a teaser trailer set in London, I think.
Yeah, I saw that.
By
That's pretty
Donut,
cool.
who made Remember Me and Life is Strange.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to...
That's their next game.
But the one game out of all that lot that I thought that looks really interesting because I haven't done it before was Beyond Eyes. So
Oh yeah.
So this is that game.
Yeah, I saw that at the thing we went to at the Eurogamer thing. They were demoing that there.
So this is a game about a blind girl who the game gives you sort of sensory input, and then it paints the picture of the world the world is imagining through the use of her senses. So the woman on stage gave an example of like the girl's walking towards like the sound of water or something, and she's imagining this beautiful fountain that she remembers from her childhood, like before she became blind. But then as she gets closer, the sense of smell kicks in, and she realizes it's an open sewer, and so the imagery changes to a much darker thing, and you've got to a lot of it is she's trying to work out where she is, and as she's scared, the world around her morphs because her imagination is putting in all this stuff that she can't see.
Cool.
And I just thought, now that sounds like a really interesting concept for a game, and I'm probably going to check that out.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the sort of stuff I want to hear about, not just
everyone's talking about Fallout 4.
third-person shooter.
I'm going to play Deus Ex Mankind, whatever it is. I know I'm going to do that,
of course.
but because it's a
I'll
beautiful
be there
game.
day one.
But I want to see new things as well.
That's the thing.
I want to
think
see.
that's the point. There comes a point in your life where you've really just got to say, I don't want to play the same games all over again. I just want to play new stuff. And I'm
not going to be here forever. Might as well enjoy the time we've got and not just be told to play the next iteration.
The creator of that Beyond Eyes game was on the PC Gaming Show, and she was ever so nervous, bless her, but she's like a bit of a fish out of water, like this is her first game and that, and she was sort of explaining how she was inspired by like games that you would play where it would be like association, like by sort of touching an object and sort of guessing what it was, or smelling something and trying to guess what it was. It's like, so yeah, it's pretty cool, and I like games. Actually, another game like that started life as kind of more of a sort of actual real life practical thing was that Unravel game that they demoed at the EA show. Did you see that?
Unravel or Yarn?
No.
Do you mean Yarn?
It's Unravel. It's called.
I think Jan's the character, I think, isn't he?
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but he said he was on holiday and he was just messing
hang
around
out.
with a ball of yarn to making these sort of shapes in the trees and stuff. But that looks really good. That's like a sort of it's like a 2.5D like platformer, but like the back, all the scenery and stuff is like top drawer visuals. If you do a search for Unravel on the page, it's in with the EA stuff if you want to look at the video. But yeah, the guy was ever so like weird and nervous. All these guys, like they're sort of like being drawn into the spotlight, and it's like, oh, but I was just making my game. Leave me alone.
don't want to sell it.
Yeah. This has been the Not Playing Podcast in partnership with notlistening.co.uk. You can contact us on email at notplayingpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at notplayingpod. You can find the show notes for this show at notlistening.co.uk. And if you're listening to us on iTunes, then please do give us a review. Music by Miracle of Sound. And that's all for now. Thanks for listening. See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I suck at Call of Duty.